The opinions expressed in this show are the views of the host and not necessarily that of WTRW, 94.3 The Talker, or the Bold Gold Media Group.
The following presentation is paid for by Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, who is solely responsible for its content. Portions transcribed.
All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
Hi, I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable on 94.3 FM The Talker. I am here with my husband, fellow realtor, Pat Devaney. How are you?
Oh, you beat me to it. I'm good.
I'm
How
going to
are
beat you anymore to this. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much for asking. I'm very excited because today we are with Pat Tobin, Director of Assessments with Lackawanna County. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jackie. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. You are hard to pin down, but I'm so grateful that we're finally here and our schedules match.
Yeah. And
we're able to talk about reassessments and the reassessment relief initiative that's happening, and we're gonna all be pros by the end of this show, and maybe next week if you can come back and talk about it, because there's a lot of confusion regarding reassessments and the reassessment relief initiative. So I'm looking forward to talking to you about that.
All right.
We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where we talk real estate. We have an experienced office with many relentless realtors who've been listing, selling, and appraising real estate for 50-plus years.
Wow. During the week, you can email us with any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com. Or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. And when you go to jruddy.com, click on the webcam tab, because you never know what you're going to see. We have a webcam on top of the building at
outrageous.
Yes.
What we just witnessed.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it, but it was just
there was a crime that was witnessed.
It was
and they
absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, but we got it.
3 a.m. in the morning. But whatever. Check us out on social media: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Remember to view our listings, search the MLS listings, listen to archive radio shows by going to mobile-friendly jruddy.com, jruddy.com, where we also have all the podcast apps that we feature our radio program on. So if you ever miss our shows on the weekend, to our loyal listeners out there, please remember you can always listen to our shows by going to a popular podcast app. All right. I would like to say hello. This is a long overdue hello to John Castro. He's currently working with one of our realtors, and he is a listener of our show. He loves our show. Big fan, and we appreciate his enthusiasm as well as his loyalty to us and our work.
Right. Yeah, I was at a car show over the weekend, and this guy, Jan, I know, comes up to me, goes, "Oh, I heard you guys on the radio. I was listening to you." He goes, "But I still don't know the difference between a sheriff sale and a tax sale."
Okay.
I try to explain it to him.
So a couple weeks back, we had a show regarding sheriff sales and tax sales. We had an attorney as our guest. We talked about the differences. Tax sales occur as a result of unpaid taxes. Sheriff sales occur as a result of unpaid mortgage payments. Does that simplify it?
Yeah.
Clarify it? Okay, just want to make that point to anyone who listened, who left that show with some confusion. Okay, back to Pat Tobin and why we are here today. Pat Tobin, Lackawanna County's Director of Assessments. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jackie.
So happy you're here with us. What's going on in Lackawanna County? What is the Reassessment Relief Initiative, please?
Well, the Reassessment Relief Initiative is a program that was put together by Commissioner Dominic and myself. It's going to try and offer relief to people who see an assessment increase of more than 20%. The program, there's some qualifying steps in the program. For instance, obviously you have to be the deeded owner of the property. You have to make $35,000 or less, or if there's two owners of the property, it'd be $41,500 or less. You have to be insured. You have to have property insurance, obviously. You can't be delinquent in your taxes. And it would be, like I said, a 20% increase after the reassessment of your net tax.
So you can't be delinquent in your taxes to get a break on your taxes?
You cannot. Believe it or not, you cannot.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up.
Sure.
Well, I am sure there's people out there
I
saying, why not?
guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I'm sure there will be.
Okay. So is there a county-wide reassessment occurring?
There is.
Okay. This was last done when in Lackawanna County?
In 1968.
Okay. So it's been 54 years since a county-wide reassessment. What's taken so long?
You know, I'm not really sure what had taken so long, but I think the current Board of Commissioners had decided that it was just finally time. The assessment rolls right now are so out of whack that it's just become unfair, and the tax burden is not being evenly distributed between all of the taxpayers.
Okay. And you're right. That's an excellent point. And as a realtor, we see it. There's certain sections of Scranton that pay $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 in property taxes annually, whereas there's some neighborhoods that can pay as little as a house would pay as little as maybe $900, $800 annually. And, you know, of course, it has to do with the assessed value.
Correct.
And so, you know, the size of the home and the land, et cetera, that's all part of the assessed value. The land is given a value, and then the improvement is given a value, right?
Correct.
Okay. So we haven't had a reassessment in the county. And in Pennsylvania, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's nothing in Pennsylvania that makes any area, county, municipality do a reassessment.
No, the only thing that could force a reassessment without a commissioner's vote is a lawsuit brought by taxpayers.
Okay.
To have a reassessment, they would...
Yes. Some taxpayers felt as though the reassessment was necessary, so they sued based on their assessment, saying that it had to be done. And there was a case currently going through the courts that it didn't seem as though it was going to be in our favor. So the commissioners decided now was the time.
So Pennsylvania doesn't have a state agency to oversee the property valuation and assessment process. So we have gone decades without this reassessment. There are still people who are opposed to a reassessment. And I don't know if taxes go up. I don't know about you, but my line of thinking is they're never going to go down. But in a reassessment, everything that I have studied on this is that what's going to happen is a third of taxes, property taxes for homeowners, will go up, a third will stay the same, and a third will be lowered. Is that something that's a correct statement?
Yeah, that's the general rule of the program that's being used, the reassessment program by Tyler. If you have a 33% increase in your tax rate, not your assessment, your tax rate, then that would indicate that for years, in theory, those individual homeowners were paying less than their fair share. Whereas the 33% who would stay the same were paying what they should have been paying. And the 33% who will see a decrease have been overtaxed. And the reassessment is an effort to bring it all together and everyone to pay their fair share.
Okay. Everybody on the even playing field, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So then, you know, there was an appeal process that was in place for many, many years for people that at a certain time of year, certain months, they could go appeal their taxes. Will that still be the case or not after this?
That will still be the case. Right now, the reassessment is on target to finish up in the late fall of 2025. Okay? I'm sorry, late fall of 2024. Beginning in the spring of 2025, we're going to have what's called an informal appeal process. So people can come in based on their new assessed value, and they can sit down with someone from our office or someone from Tyler Technologies, and it'll be explained to them how they arrived at that number.
So Tyler Technologies is the independent third party that's conducting this reassessment.
Correct. Tyler Technologies is based in Texas, and they've done reassessments all over the country.
Okay.
And they've been in business since the mid-'60s, late 60s.
Quick question. So if my county tax, if the house gets reassessed and the assessed value goes up, my county taxes are going up. What about my school tax and my local tax?
Well, your local tax and your school tax and also your county tax are based on the millage rate. The millage rate is determined by the budget that Lackawanna County determines they need to meet. Same with the borough that you live in, same with the school district that you live in. So if the assessed values increase, then the millage rates will drop precipitously because by law, they cannot increase their budgets by more than 10% following a reassessment.
I thought it was 0.
No, it's 10%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the information that I had received on that, and I don't know where I pulled it from, it said that the county can't collect more in taxes than before, but it redistributes the tax burden.
That's true. By Pennsylvania law, a reassessment has to be what's called revenue neutral, which means you can't increase your budgets, but apparently somewhere along the line that changed to 10%.
Okay.
But I don't think we're going to see an increase. I know we won't see one with the county. As far as the local municipalities and school districts, I can't speak.
You
for
wouldn't
them.
know. How would
Yeah.
you know that, right?
Right.
So wasn't this tried before and then aborted?
Yeah,
Some time ago, not too...
they attempted a reassessment in 2006.
Right.
I believe, during a previous Board of Commissioners. And the Director of Assessments at that time had determined halfway through the process that there was too high of an error rate. In other words, the assessments were coming back and the values were out of line, or he felt as though. So the decision was made to terminate the process. Through that process, we did gather a lot of information, which we still use in the assessment office. It's in a program which is called PICS-PACS, and that gives us the square footage of a home, when the home was built, the outline of the home, a lot of good information we did derive from that, but we did not end up with a reassessment.
Realtors should have the ability to have that program.
Maybe they should.
You know, online, really, because there are other areas of, in other states or areas that have that ability to be able to go online. And our area is one that's never had that. You know, we would always have to go down and to the assessor's office and pull the card and get the inaccurate information off this little index card that was shoved in a drawer
30 years ago.
Right. So it just is something that would, I mean, you bring up a point that I'm just thinking out loud here.
Well,
But
and the
I would love a chance to be able to
the
view a
reassessment
program
is
like that.
going to correct all of that.
Okay, good.
Besides getting the reassessment contract with Tyler Technologies, we're also using Tyler's software, which does allow us to put in drawings, allows us to put in the square footage, and then after the reassessment, once we have the opportunity to do that, the new assessment will be automatically generated.
Nice. Okay, so in a perfect world, this will be complete in, 3 years' time?
Yes, approximately 3.
All right. And what is the cost?
I believe the cost was $5.1 million. I can't be certain on that, but I think that was the final cost of the contract that was signed, which is available on our website.
A huge...
Yeah. So what are they going to do?
undertaking.
Is somebody going to go to each home? Is that how it's going to work? Or are they going to do it from...
Yeah, each one of the field inspectors for Tyler Technologies is going to visit every parcel in the county.
Okay, so in a day and age where we are very suspicious of anybody who knocks at our front door, how can we be absolutely sure this is who they say they are?
Well, on our website, we have a list of all field data collectors. It has their picture. They'll be wearing an orange vest. They'll be wearing a Lackawanna County issued ID, and it also lists the car that they're driving. So you can easily go and see if this person is who they say they are. And you can always call the police if you feel unsafe, although we have contact. We've started in Taylor. The Taylor police are well aware that we're there, as is the borough council. And we're telling everyone as we move into each municipality to just make them aware that we're there. And then they can easily look up online to see if this person is, in fact, a Tyler Technologies data field collector.
Do they come into the house or they just do the outside?
No, they're not going to be coming into the house. What they're going to be doing is they're going to measure the exterior of all improvements on the property. That could be the main structure, could be the garage, could be any additions you put on through the years, and then they will knock on the door. And if someone is home, they'll have a couple of general questions. What year was the home constructed? How many bedrooms do you have? How many bathrooms do you have? Has the basement been redone? Information they can't get from generally, looking on the outside. And obviously we won't catch everyone at home. They'll be doing their work from 9 to 5. And the people who we don't get at home, we're going to be mailing a data card to. The data card will ask all of those same questions. And then you can just fill them out and send them back to Tyler. And then when the reassessment is done, you will get, in your reassessment, you'll have all the information that we have. If some of it is not correct, we would like you to contact Tyler, and we can make adjustments.
Very good. Now, back when in 2006 or thereabout, there were appraisers. There was an appraisal that was being done. Is Tyler appraising the property?
Well, yes, in a sense they are. It's not an actual appraisal, as they're not licensed appraisers.
Okay.
Although Tyler will staff actual appraisers to get the final values.
For valuation purposes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and the reason I know that is because the appraisal company that was chosen last time.
Oh, God. Listen, that's a good story.
Had the name 21st Century. And the reason I know that is because I am Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate.
Yes.
Do you know how many irate phone calls I received during that time?
I can guess.
Okay.
So don't choose 21st
So
century.
we have nothing to do with this Tyler company. So I'm glad it's a completely different name this time because I just did it. I thought I was going to be, I can't say what I thought, but
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that.
Oh, I'm sorry you had that experience. But
yeah, well, people were not happy with us, and we had nothing to do with it. But that was all back then. This is now moving forward. You do not. So Tyler, if the homeowner is home, will they ask to come in?
No, they will
Okay.
just ask them the questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So at least we know what to expect. We're headed towards a break. Today with us is Pat Tobin, Lackawanna County's Director of Assessments, and we're talking about the Reassessment Relief Initiative. On the second half, we're going to also bring Lackawanna County Commissioner Debbie Dominic into the discussion, and she's going to join us. Pat, would you like to review a listing, please?
Yes, we have a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3-bath home in the Greenridge section of Scranton at 1113 Woodlawn Street for $299,000. This home has gorgeous hardwood floors. It has original woodwork throughout. The first floor has a modern open design, a kitchen with hardwood floors, granite countertops, and stainless steel appliances. It also has a huge covered rear porch with ceiling fans. The home has central AC and ductless air conditioners, a fireplace, a first-floor laundry, a detached garage, off-street parking, all of this on a 40 by 160 lot. That's a wonderful 4-bedroom, 3-bath home at 1113 Woodlawn Street in Scranton for $299,000, and that's listed by Phoebe Keating of our office.
Thank you, Pat. From time to time, I talk about the scams that are out there that are affecting people and homeowners. And today I am looking at a registration fee voucher that I received from the county deed records. It's the latest scam. So you open it and it looks like a check, but it says not a check on the very bottom in very small print. This is not a check. $199, and it's looking for my signature required for redemption because it is saying my home warranty they're informing me that my home warranty is not up to date.
What, the house that was built in 1917?
And please call immediately, as this will be our final attempt to notify you. Yeah. And then there's these phone numbers and their hours of operation, 9 to 9. Did you guys know that you work 9 to 9 Monday through Friday, 11 to 3 on Saturdays? Okay, well, you guys work all the time. But these are your official office hours. Yes, you can take this. Yes. Yes, you may have this. But be aware, because this is not real. Shred it, but don't sign it and send it anywhere. We're going to head towards a break now. Please stay with the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM. The Talker will be right back. When considering to sell or buy a home, why choose Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate? Let me tell you why. 70% of home buyers settle for the first agent they meet, and many regret it. 90% of home sellers hire an agent, but was it the right choice? Don't have agent remorse. I'm Jackie Ruddy, and I've been in and around the real estate business for most of my life. And at Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, we've been selling real estate for half a century. But we do not do it halfway. You deserve better than average. Average doesn't help you. We know it's all about you and what you need. Century 21 is the #1 in brand awareness, is the most recognized name in real estate, and is the most respected in the industry. In this market, if you dream big, you need to move fast. So it makes perfect sense to contact Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, 570-344-6724, and visit jruddy.com. That's JRUDDY.com. Welcome back to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy. And with Pat Devaney, my husband, co-host, fellow realtor.
And we're
Hello.
back, and we have an addition.
We do. Our first half of this show today, we spent with Pat Tobin, Lackawanna County's Director of Assessments, who is still here in the studio with us. But we also have Lackawanna County Commissioner Debbie Dominic here now. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'd like to hear from your perspective, this county-wide reassessment. Why all of a sudden, after 50 some odd years, is Lackawanna County undergoing a reassessment, please?
Well, I think as to why it's finally happening is that Jerry and I realized that
Jerry Notoriani
and I, you need two commissioners to pass something like this, and he and I realized that this has to be done. I think that it's speculation, but the reason why it's gone on for so long without reassessment is because it wasn't maybe the most politically popular thing to do, and sometimes. A lot of the times, elected officials, succumb to that. But it's the right thing to do. There's inequities across the board. Some people are paying too much. Some people are paying too little. Some people are paying just right. But I, as an individual, am big on consistency. And we need to be more consistent. And the only way we're going to do that and cure any inequities is by having a reassessment. And it's sad that that it's happening only, after such a long period of time. And I think because of that, because it's been 54 years, that is what is striking panic in our residents.
Yes. And I think most people are of the assumption, thought process, that their taxes are going to go up. And then the opposing viewpoint has to do with some people, the elderly that are on fixed incomes. Will they be able to absorb a property tax increase and hold on to their homes?
The thing is, with the 1/3 up, 1/3 down, and 1/3 the same, I think it's speculative. I haven't studied the data that. Reassessment, I think, happened in Luzerne County and Monroe. I haven't studied their data to see if that's actually what occurs. But again, we're going to have to help our residents the best we can. And we can either now or at a later time talk about something that we have in the works to try to give the people that are the most affected by it some relief. But it has to be done, because the longer we wait, the longer the inequity of it. And the longer people are going to be paying too much, or other people are paying, too little. Like, we have to have consistency throughout the county. And it's a barrier, I think, to economic development. I think that companies are going to be, or are maybe hesitant to come to Lackawanna County when they see that we haven't reassessed in 54 years. So
it's a statewide problem, Commissioner Dominic. I mean, I've been reading Wayne County didn't reassess for 15 years. Berks County hasn't done one in 27 years. Schuylkill County, 26 years. Montgomery, Delaware, Chester counties haven't done them in 20 years. I mean, no one's touched 54 years.
Right. Now, my understanding, and Pat, you may know, but I've heard this is hearsay, so I haven't looked in the fine print. But my understanding is that there are some states that require counties.
Yes.
To reassess.
And Pennsylvania is one of a few that don't. Yes.
So one thing I did talk to Jerry about, because again, we will need a two commissioner vote. One thing I did talk to him about is passing legislation requiring, countywide reassessment every so many years. And when we had Tyler Technology at the meeting to talk about reassessment, I asked the representative from Tyler, how often do you think we should reassess? Because it has to be economically feasible. He said 6 years. So I don't know if that's the magic number, but I do think we should pass legislation. I did look into the case law to see if we can pass legislation that binds future commissioners. I don't see anything that says that we can't. I have our chief solicitor looking into it, but I think we need to do that. Otherwise, again, if it's not the popular, politically correct thing to do, or people are feeling the political pressure and they buckle under that, we might go another 50 years before it happens, and I'd hate to see that happen.
Well, it wouldn't be in our lifetime, and it would be something that our children and grandchildren would inherit, right? A problem. But so what would you do? You're looking at maybe voting it in. Would it be every 6 years or every 10 years or every 20?
Well, right now, what the first thing I did was focus on this relief that we prepared or just want to implement. Again, it's subject to vote. The next thing will be the ordinance, and I've already asked my solicitor to draw something up, our solicitor to draw something up. The number of years, I think I have to consult with Pat, who's the director of our Office of Assessment and Appeals, and the solicitor, Bridget Carey, who is an expert there's no other word to describe her on these issues, and see what they think in terms of how often, maybe 7 years, maybe 10 years. I don't know what the magic number is, but I think it's important that we look into it and see if we can, in fact, pass such legislation. Because, again, if commissioners in the future don't want to do it, let them have to take the be proactive and undoing the legislation that we put into place. I don't want to make it easy on them because it's the correct thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And I think that politics need to stop ruling the decision-making in county government or any type of government, actually.
Well, that'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. I'll be watching. Okay. With us is Lackawanna County Commissioner Debbie Dominic and Lackawanna County Director of Assessments, Pat Tobin. We thank you for your time here today talking about reassessments. There's a lot more regarding this topic and subject that I'd like to hear about and talk to you about. Would you both be able to come back next week?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yes, we have a beautiful 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. It's at 311 Gibbon Street in Dunmore for $169,000. This Dunmore home has plenty of charm and curb appeal. It has low taxes. It's got low taxes of $1,800 a year. And it sits on a 40 by 110 lot. It also has hardwood floors in the bedrooms, a large eat-in kitchen, updated baths, along with a beautifully finished basement for additional living space. That's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home at 311 Gibbon Street in Dunmore for $169,000, and that's listed by Carrie Thompson of our office.
I do have a complaint about the reassessments. This is tied to real estate. We will no longer be able to advertise properties as having low taxes. So I want you to do something about that. That's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's only. But
why I said when I read the low taxes.
Yes, but
I have it worse. Commissioners. I don't. That'll be next term. So whether or not I don't want to be presumptuous, but commissioners cannot reassess or seek appeal of the reassessment. So we have it a little worse than you do.
Okay, I'd have to agree with you there. We're out of time. Thanks for joining the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. Remember to tune in next Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Have a great week.